And so every parent wants their kid to play AAU, or not AAU, but Division I basketball. But with Division I basketball, it's a high level of discipline, it's a high level of accountability, and it's a whole great level of self-respect. Because again, if your name is under that tick on ESPN, not only you're embarrassing yourself, you're embarrassing your parents, you're embarrassing the coach, and now the coach gonna get fired. He may not get another job, can't take care of his family, but another coach that's just worried about winning basketball games might come get you. But you're gonna go through that same thing again. So what I talk to parents and players about is developing here mentally. Because the game is really more about your mental capacity than your physical, development. You can jump high, but can you read a screen that's coming? Can you run a play?
Man, no doubt, no doubt. 1 2 1 2.
All right, what's up? What's going on? What's going on, y'all? This is Coach Carvel Bailey. I got my shades on because it is snow. Well, it has snowed out, but the sun is pretty bright. So I'm gonna take them off for a minute. Let me know. Let me know what city, what state you're checking in from. Let me know what city and state you're checking in from. As usual, feel free to leave, any comments down below. Keep them respectful. I shouldn't have to say that, but yeah, let's keep them respectful. So I made a post yesterday, but I wanted to come make a video today about this same thing, right? What the snow has taught me, right? What this Valentine's Day blizzard has taught me as it pertains to recruiting. So I was leaving out of work on Thursday, and because we work kind of Monday through Thursday, and then Friday is cleaning day. So as I was leaving work Thursday, one of the school police officers said, well, he's a police officer but works in the school. He was like, man, get your shovels ready for the, and I'm like, why? It's supposed to snow. He's like, yep. Like, okay. And so the snow came, and the snow did not disappoint, right? So as I was thinking about recruiting, it works the same way, right? It works the same way for athletes. Will they disappoint, or will they show up and show out, right? The snow here in Chicago, the snow showed up and the snow showed out, right? I'm in my car right now because I'm getting ready to cut my blower on, getting ready to get out here with my shovels, right? And I made this post yesterday after I shoveled, but then last night it came again, right? So the snow showed up and the snow showed out, and the snow did exactly what I was told it was going to do, right? The snow did exactly what I expected it to do. So now let's look at from the recruiting standpoint. Does your athlete, right? Whatever's being said about your athlete, whatever's being heralded about your athlete, whatever's being talked about your athlete, are they living up to that, right? Are they able to show up at an event, at a game, right? At a workout? Are they able to show up and show out? Are they able to do exactly what the college scouts or recruiters are looking for? Because guess what? And I got my old, right? This is where my first head college job was, right here, rocking it, right? Truman College here in Chicago, one of the warmest sweatsuits ever. That's a whole nother story. But what happened when I went to go see athletes, parents, understand, if a coach is coming to an event, I say 85% of the time they know who they're looking for, but 100% of the time they know what they're looking for. I'm gonna say that again. 85% they know who they're looking for, but 100% they know what they're looking for, right? So here's the thing: will your athletes show up and show out? Will your athletes show and prove? Right? That's the thing that I used to always tell my college athletes and even my high school athletes: show and prove. You're not getting enough exposure. You don't think people looking at you. Your recruitment is not what it is, right? You want more playing time. Show and prove, right? Show up and prove to me that you are who you or everybody else say that they are. So what the snow proved to me, right? And I had to be prepared. I have a snow blower. I got about 3 shovels, right? And I had to be prepared for what was coming. College coaches are prepared also, right? They're prepared with what's called letters of intent. They're prepared with what's called scholarship. right? Grant and aid, right? All of those things, right? It's the same thing, scholarship, right? So coaches are equipped with scholarships. So when they come to an event or when they come to see your athlete play, or when they're like reaching out, they have an idea of how the athlete plays. Now they're trying to build and form a relationship, right? But is your athlete gonna show up and show out? Right? Is your athlete gonna do what the snow did, right? And the snow came down, right? Consistently, right? It was a snowfall consistently. So it just didn't snow on Thursday and then it didn't snow again until yesterday. It consistently over the weekend fell. Is your athlete consistent, right? Can your athlete show up and show out consistently, just like the snow was falling consistently, right? And if I'm gonna get out my car in a minute and I'm gonna show you, because here on this platform I can't necessarily turn my screen around, but I'm gonna show you the level of snow, how high the snow is. So not only I'm asking is will your athlete show up and show out, but will your athlete leave his mark? Will your athlete leave its mark on the people that's watching them? Right? The snow has left its mark on my town, my city, my state, and probably all around the country. Right? The snow has left its mark. It's snowing on the West Coast right now. Texas, some other areas, right? Snow and cold. So, what can your athlete learn from a snowstorm? To consistently show up and show out. To consistently show up and show out. And guess what? Not really worry about what somebody else is thinking, right? Who's going to get upset if I just consistently keep raining down snow? Who's going to get upset, right? We can get upset. I can get upset. I can say, hey, I don't like it here. I want to move to a warmer climate, right? But I still have to do something about it. So your athlete still has to do something about it. And furthermore, if they show up and show out consistently, they'll be noticed all around the country, right? This snowstorm, this Valentine's Day snowstorm, this COVID pandemic Valentine's Day snowstorm has been heard about. I don't really want to hear, right? Or not that it doesn't happen, but when parents say my athlete is not getting a lot of exposure, we're not in the right area, right? If you consistently show up and show out, right? And you leave your mark, right? If your athlete consistently shows up and show out and leave their mark, it will be known around the whole country. It may not be talked about like you want it, but it'll be known. Coaches know coaches. And they reach out to coaches, right? But this is what we teach athletes, right? You know, we're doing a Mamba Mentality workshop. We got 2 more weeks. You definitely register, you know, for that if you haven't registered. Oh, the volume low. Is it still low, Jeff? Is it still low? Is that better? What up, Tay? Is that good, Coach? Is it better, Jeff? The volume? Can you hear me now? All right. So basically, what I was saying in a nutshell, right? And I'm eight minutes in, so I'm glad that we figured it out now, right? So in a nutshell, okay, better. So in a nutshell, what can you learn from the snowstorm, right? What can athletes learn from the snowstorm? To show up, show out, and be consistent. Show up, show out, and be consistent. And if they show up, if they show out, so showing up means that they have to be available, right? They have to be available. So many times athletes don't show up in games. The coach be like, man, they ain't show up. They didn't play well, right? Mentally, right? Mentally, they got to show up. Physically, they got to show up. Now they have to show out, right? So let's even change it. Mentally, they have to show up. Physically, they have to show out. Does that make sense? Right? Mentally, they have to show up and be ready. Physically, they have to show out. And then all together, they have to be consistent. And when they do that, there's some coach around the country that will know about them. And even more, there's some coach around the country that'll get on the phone and tell another coach, hey, let me tell you about this kid that I went and saw, and boy, did they show out. Right? But you have to have a certain mindset, and then you have to have a strategy
of knowing how to go about doing these things, right? So coaches are equipped with scholarships, grant aid forms, letters of intent, right? All the same thing. Just like I was equipped with my shovel because I knew that the snow was coming. Coaches are equipped with these offers and these scholarships because they know that they're individuals that they're looking for, right? And just like I had to now take the shovel to be able to make life, right, easier for me and my family getting out the driveway or whatever, coaches do the same thing. They offer those scholarships to individuals that can make life easier for them and their family, right? And oftentimes it's not based on their physical or athletic ability. It's all those other things. Remember, I say here in Chicago, right? And in Minnesota and in Milwaukee and like all over the country, right? We got snow and it left its mark. So will your athlete leave his mark on that coach enough so to where now that coach can use his tools, i.e. that scholarship, that offer, right? That ability to communicate with your athlete or with you as a parent, right? And build a relationship. They're using their tools to be able to help make life easier for them. So it's the same thing as a snowstorm, but guess what? If the snow didn't consistently show up and show out, I wouldn't have had to use my tools in the manner in which I have to use them. All right. So I hope that makes sense. I just wanted to come and drop this on y'all real quick, right? Again, the sun is shining, right? The sun is shining. And so I got my lokes, you know what they say. But I want y'all to look at this, right? I don't know if you can see it, but just look at all this snow, right? This is the driveway, but just look at all the snow. I mean, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, right? Snow is everywhere. So I got to use my tools. I got to use my little snow blower. I got to use my little shovels, right? I got to do all that. I got to use my tools to make life easier for me. Coaches are doing the same thing with their scholarship offers to make life easier for them. You see me squinting now because the sun ain't no joke, right? So you'd be like, man, this dude got a winter coat on, sunglasses. The sun is shining, right? And when you consistently show up and show out and the snow done left its mark, right? The snow done left its mark and you see the sun shining. But guess what? The snow's still here. The snow ain't going nowhere until I use my tools to make life easier for me. So guess what? That coach not going nowhere, right? But will your athlete consistently do the things to make that coach use them tools to help them make life easier for them? All right. Tell me about it. So, hey, man, I hope that made sense to y'all. I'm about to get out here and hit this snow, especially while I'm on my lunch break. If you haven't, all right, if you haven't registered your athlete for the last 2 weeks of our Mamba Mentality Masterclass that we are doing on Saturday mornings, 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, right? For the next 2 weeks, you can definitely go register for that. If you haven't had a chance to check out our free case study video, go check that out at BeTheRightRecruit.com. Yeah, you know, we are offering education, pure knowledge to be able to get athletes to the next level. All right. So feel free to reach out to us. Go check out that case study, subscribe to my YouTube, right? All those other things, and reach out to us if y'all need our help. All right. I'll be back a little bit later on. Trust me, I'll be back a little bit later on because I'm going to talk about this Duke situation. So I'm going to be back later on. All right. I got to get this snow right now. Tell your athletes to learn from the snowstorm of the COVID Valentine's Day 2021. That will help them in their recruitment. I assure you. Peace.
You'll win games, you'll lose games, and sometimes losses bring me to my knees where I don't want to get out of bed. But at the end of the day, I have to do what I do for my family and for these guys to show them this is what a man looks like. And that's all that matters to me. Yeah, I want to win every game, but But if I can give them some and pour into their lives and help them understand this is the truth, it might sting you a little bit, but this is the truth. But we can get to this point if we do these things. Because if you're not teaching them life lessons, what are you really teaching them? You're wasting their time. Eventually, they'll be somebody's father. They'll be somebody's husband. They'll run a company one day. So if they're not learning those lessons now, then I didn't do a good job in teaching.